Hello.
Hi there. Today we're going to be reviewing the newest record from Blaque Dynamite titled Time Out. And the first track is the self-titled track on the album. What'd you think?
Well, I'd like to bring it to your attention that I've switched locales.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't intentional, but now that I reflect on how I feel about this album, maybe it was my subconscious telling me that I should switch to my bed just because, I basically fell asleep during this album.
Mm-hmm.
First song was Time Out. It was like an arcade. It was like I was at an arcade, but with annoying vocals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. For me, I actually really like the energy that the track gave off. I like the aggressive animated vocal performance. I also like the waviness of the track. Like it had the mix kind of sound like squiggly in a very interesting way. So I thought it was a good opener.
Squiggly.
Yeah, squiggly. I'm not kidding. It's like the way the vocals kind of like fluctuate. Word. Next one is No Hose, which is it was only like 24 seconds. It's just kind of like a quick like comedic detour. I'm kind of indifferent on it. I chuckled the first time I heard it, but I think it like lost its novelty.
Comedic. Oh yeah. It was not funny. It was not good. They also chose to spell hose like it's pseudo French. I don't know. Maybe it is an actual word that I just don't know. But yeah, hose. Heauxs.
Yeah, boy.
Yep. Yeah, I think at this point in the album, I really wish that they'd used auto-tune, which I don't think I've ever said before.
All right. So moving on. The next track is From the Other Day. What'd you think? Or do you want me to go first?
You should definitely go first on pretty much all of these, I think.
Okay. I like the spaciness of the track a lot. It has like a deep funk groove. Has these kicking drums and these like glowing synthesizers at some certain intervals. Kind of reminded me of like Thundercat a bit vocally with how he transitions from like these throaty verses to the higher end or higher pitched vocals on the refrain.
Thundercats.
Thundercat, the artist, Thundercat.
The TV show Thundercats.
The artist, Thundercat.
Oh, not the TV show Thundercat.
No. Yeah.
Thundercat?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you meant Thundercats.
No. There's an artist, like a jazztronica artist.
No. Yeah. But there's a TV show that's called Thundercats.
Great meme, boy. Yeah, I thought it was a good song. What'd you think?
About Thundercats? I don't know. I've never watched it. Sorry. We're on From the Other Day.
Yeah.
There was a... Oh, damn, my light. Hold up. Yeah, so actually, it was a kind of... Oh, I should probably be quiet. Everyone in my house is sleeping. There's a bit of a... Yeah, I gotta be quiet. There's a bit of a funky synth percussion. I feel kind of bad just because I kind of basically crap on every single one of these songs.
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted to stop listening, and my ads were more entertaining. Like the soulless corporate music of like those Hulu ad. No, not even Hulu. I don't know, like a Grubhub song. I hate those Hulu ads. The like I am Dave ads. I don't know if you get them, but I would rather get like probably like 100 of those rather than listen to this album again.
Okay. Next one is Froude. For me, it's kind of like it's a prominent percussion instrumental with some bass lines woven into the drum rhythms. I didn't really get a whole lot out of this because I think hearing the previous tracks, or at least for me, and how kind of recognizable they are and how distinct they are, this is like really mundane in comparison.
Yeah, not squiggly.
Not squiggly, no. Next one is Handheld.
Wait. No, I have to give my 2 cents.
about Froude.
Froude.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Froude was like a homeless band performing in a kitchen. Yeah, it was shit. Sorry, I don't know if your channel is family friendly. Yeah, they should have had a microwave in it, like the. Because then maybe it would have appealed to Gen Z.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting takes. The next one is Handheld. This kind of came off of somebody reminiscing about somebody he was with or somebody he's longing for. The instrumental, I think, is really stagnant. It really doesn't do a whole lot to complement the vocals at hand. I will say the progression toward the last leg of the track with the ominous sounding synths made it more palpable, but as a whole, I was really underwhelmed.
Yeah, I said the same thing. I thought that the percussion was repetitive, which was a shame because I was so excited when the vocals stopped to hear what else the band could do. But like you said, they didn't really impress. Also, I'd like to inform your audience that for the sake of integrity, I didn't listen to this album on 2x speed, even though I really wanted to.
All right, the next one is I Want to Be More. For me, this was a nice rebound after a couple of underwhelming cuts. The instrumental is pretty easygoing, and I like the kind of pianic or xylophone flourishes. I'm not sure which one it is. Kind of sprinkled throughout the airy instrumental, and I thought the paced vocal performance complemented it well. It did not need to be 7 minutes long, but I still enjoyed the airy vibe of the track. Thought it was really engaging. Go ahead.
God, it was 7 minutes. Yeah, I think my biggest question was WTF, bro? How does this love song that should be at least okay suck? It feels like a meme, but I know it's not. I know that they're trying.
Just doesn't.
I think at this point, I looked up the group and saw that it looks like they have another album.
I'm not sure. This is this is kind of the first album covering of theirs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, all their views are pretty small. I mean, maybe they have a big following outside of YouTube or something that I don't know about. But yeah, I mean, I've crapped on them up until this point, and I will continue to do that throughout this album because I hated it. But I mean, if this is their starting stuff, I think they should keep going. Definitely. I think that their vocals could use some work. I think that their production could be more varied and interesting. But if it's what you love doing, then more power to you. But yeah, man, this song was so long. It was just more, and it was just the same instrumentals, and there was just no development.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think just the groove and the vibe of the track really just had me, or kind of masked it for me for the most part. I do agree it was way too long, but I think for what was there, the core kind of core essentials to it were good. Next track is 29 Fairmount Street, which is an interlude. I thought this instrumental track was a lot more engaging than Froude. There's not really a bona fide groove or rhythm to it, which is why I found it interesting. It has these speedy hits of drum and kind of these improv sounding jazz embellishments with the horn in the first half and the piano flourishes. I think were interesting enough to keep me engaged the whole way. What about you?
Yeah, I'm glad we're finding some common ground. I liked this one the most so far on the album. And I never thought I'd see the day where I'd like an interlude the most on an album, given all of the little interludes we've seen on past albums we've reviewed together. But yeah, I mean, like you said, it kind of had a jazz flavor. I wrote that it was like a bad jazz concert, but with no vocals. Yeah, and it's kind of sad, but that still is my favorite one so far, the bad jazz concert.
Nice. On the next track, RTO Thought Anthem. I like the lyrics about here, or from what I heard in the first half. It's kind of it's explaining, or it's kind of, how do I say it? It's characterizing this guy who's clearly plastered and saying what's on his mind while being apologetic at the same time. I recall him asking someone to call him an Uber or something. So I think the mood is set from the very get-go, and it has the The production, once again, kind of serves as a nice audaic personification of that. It sounds like nocturnal and dazed, from like the Wayne synth lead and kind of I forgot what it was. And these like digital rushes of electronics I thought were pretty interesting, how they spurred throughout the channels. I liked it. I thought it was a pretty cool nighttime track to listen to.
Well, they used auto-tune.
Moving on. The next track is Full Glass.
No, wait, I have more. Yeah, it was mildly better. Up until I don't know if you get this, but late at night, if you stay up until like 3 a.m. or if you just happen to wake up to like pee or drink water or eat a Krusty Krab burger or whatever, you'll hear sometimes in the night like a fox just mauling some poor animal, and it's just like screeching. It sounds like someone's dying like within a mile radius of your house. And yeah, I swear that they sampled that for this song. Like one of the members of the band was just like, wah, wah. Yeah, I didn't think this song was clever, unique, funny, charming, and the production was boring at best. I was really looking forward to this one. I was like, ooh, Thought Anthem. I want to hear this banger. But no, I was really disappointed.
Yeah, really, not a whole lot of like anthemic elements to it. Or like any conventional anthemic elements to it.
Yeah, I think you better stick to my girl Megan Thee Stallion,
who I think is dropping an album later tonight anyway. So
God bless. I'm gonna have to listen. I'm gonna have to cleanse my ears and my soul from this band. I forget their name.
Blaque Dynamite.
Blaque Dynamite, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next track is Full Glass. This is kind of like ambient funk. That's the best way I can like describe it. There's like this starry ambiance.
I'm sorry, you've single-handedly you've improved my mood so much, letting me know that Megan is dropping an album tonight. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, so like the starry ambiance is like front and center, with kind of like these vocals and miscellaneous sounds being purged into the background. So it's like they're more used for like sonic details than they are like musical essentials like vocals and rhythms and stuff like that. I thought it was an interesting sonic track.
Yeah, Full Grass. I felt trapped in a rap intro.
Trapped in a rap intro? Oh, that's interesting. Interesting take. I can definitely hear that. Next track was Superman. I was not into this one at all. It kind of just sounded like a rehash of what I already heard on the album. Soft air groove, light vocals. It just kind of became more formulaic to my ears the more I listened to it.
Yeah, I'm still listening.
It was only 5 minutes long, my guy.
That's my reaction.
All right, cool. Next one is
only 5. That's too short of 7, which is 5 too much.
You're right.
Jesus. I'm sorry. I think I'm just tired too. They really caught me at the worst time.
Yeah, no issues. The next track is On My Way, or I believe it's On My Way. OMW. Yeah, speaking of rehashed, again, it doesn't add anything unique to the track list. No interesting perspectives on this percussive sound, no uniquities of any kind. It just sounds really basic and honestly derivative of songs that are on this album, which is weird to say the least.
OMW. Yeah. This is where I almost fell asleep. Yeah.
Okay, and last track is Snares. So I thought this was a solid closer. It has like these watery riffs that emerge like a minute into the track. I thought it was pretty smooth to listen to. Kind of reminds me of like Zombie by Fela Kuti from the GTA 4 soundtrack. So I thought that riff kind of like gave me, I wouldn't say nostalgia, but like memories of like a song I enjoy more. But still, I think I thought it was a decent closer.
Yeah, this is the one I had actually good things to say about. I thought it had an intriguing opening. It did wake me up, so that helps. It sounded different from the rest of the album, so that's definitely a plus. It sounded like there were just like maracas, like a bunch of maracas in the background with like this dreamlike I don't know what instrument it was, but like this dreamlike sound that periodically came through, and then there was like this faint percussion that maybe swelled. I don't really recall. It did have this sort of repetitive middle. But yeah, I think my biggest question at the end of this album, because I agree, I enjoyed this one. I thought it was a good closer, or decent, or passable maybe, the best word. My biggest question was just, where was this the whole album? Because for me, the whole everything else sounded pretty much the same, and I wasn't interested. But then this at least got me like mildly interested. So yeah, I just wish there was more of it. I don't know if they like put more emotion into this. I don't know what was different about this one. I guess maybe the production felt more varied. I just wish that they brought that to the rest of the album and bring it into their future albums as well.
Interesting. Yeah, I think for me overall, I did enjoy a majority of the record, but there are definitely a lot of instances where I'm just like, sound really isn't encapsulating me, or it's kind of like self-indulgent, but not in like in a pretentious way. It's just more like the sound or like the ambition is just being smothered by just like wanting to stay strictly to the sound they wanted to create, rather than just kind of like let it breathe or let it flow, or complement them well with like different ideas or certain uniquities. So I think with that being said, I liked a good chunk of the album. I thought the opener was actually pretty had me engaged. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be kind of like a rowdy, aggressive kind of record, because I've never heard this band before, or this musical project before. So that kind of had my interest peaked, and there were a couple of tracks that had some interesting ideas in terms of like using funk, like kind of funk more as an accent to some of these sounds rather than like the core appeal. But yeah, definitely had some issues. I think pacing wise, and just having a lot of a couple of songs that just don't flow together at all. Like the No Hose interlude really could have just not been there, and wouldn't have made a difference. It was only 20 seconds, but I guess it was just more like a fun piece. And then stuff like Froude and Froude, Superman, and On My Way, or OMW, kind of just sound like they were derivative songs of each other without any interesting flavor to add to the rest of the track list. So for me, I would probably give this album like a 6.5. No, I'd probably give it like a 6, like my final rating.
Word. Yeah, I liked what you said about how it felt smothered. I agreed. I don't listen to nearly as much music as you do, so I don't think I have as strong an intuitive sense as to whether an artist is smothered, but I really felt that they just didn't, I guess, experiment. Maybe that's not the right word, but just, yeah, like you said, just kind of like branch out and try those new ideas, or even, yeah, just let it breathe. I think let it breathe is the best way that you put it, and that I just didn't feel that on this album, whereas I've definitely felt that, I think, before on other albums that we've reviewed. I've pretty much said my piece. I'm not gonna tear into them any longer. Yeah, I mean, you know, keep doing you, man, or men, I suppose. It's a duo, I think, right? Maybe like a
not entirely sure. I think it's fronted by a main artist.
Okay, yeah. Best of luck to them. I will not listen to their stuff most likely, but yeah, this album probably like a 5 out of 30.
Okay.
It was just, yeah, I don't have much else to say. I will say that I'm surprised that I went from the highest rated album that we've reviewed to the lowest. That was disappointing to me. But yeah, best of luck to them.
Cool. All right. So thank you for watching this review. We'll see you next time.